Welcome, knitters. I am here to answer another question from my students, and the request was about knitting color work flat. It means going back and forth instead of working in the round. It does make much more sense to work color knitting in the round, but doesn't mean it cannot be done back and forth. And here is my sample. I have a simple chart for you. The link is in the description for you. You're going to receive the same chart if you want to knit along with me. And the only thing that is going to be different is I have a garter stitch border. So I cast on 30 stitches. I put some rows of garter stitch, and I put garter stitches on the side. Let me give you a introduction to the chart. I have here my chart on my companion. Like I said, my chart is not showing any of the garter stitch borders. At this point, I worked all the way to row number 10. I'm going to start here on 11 with you. And you can see, as most of the color work patterns are, they are easy to memorize. So it's like 3 lights, 2 darks, 1, 2, and then 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1. So in other words, it's easy to memorize the sequence, and the same way every row is going to be short and easy to memorize. The reason I stopped on row 10, and I'm going to knit those 2 rows with you, is that so you can see me doing a right side facing, you can see me doing a wrong side facing, and on row 13 and 14 I'm going to teach you how to trap the floats. Okay, so let me put my chart aside here for me to read. Of course, we're doing this Portuguese style, so I have 2 pins on my shoulder. The pin on the right, the pin that I have on my right shoulder takes my light color, and the pin that I have on my left shoulder is the dark color. That's something I established for myself. You can do whatever you want, but as long as you are consistent. If you abandon your project and you're going to start working on another day, you want to keep your colors on the same side you were before. So here I'm gonna purl 3 blues. My work is curling up a little bit. It hasn't been blocked, of course. So now I'm gonna start with 2 lights. Let's bring the light color. You're going to knit 2 grays. Oops, you know what? I forgot to twist the color. When you finish like here, you wanna work the gray in a way that you trap the blue behind. So let me start this again. I'm gonna hold my blue. See? Now I secure the blue. Otherwise I get a hole in there. And okay, 2 grays. And now I go 2 blues, 1 gray, 2 blues. And then 3 light colors. 1, 2, 3. Because the strands on the back are very short, I don't have a reason to trap the floats yet. You see why it's called stranded, because you have strands on the back. So 2 darks, 1 light, 2 darks. And now 3 lights. 1, 2, and 3. 2 darks, one light, two darks, and one light. And now I'm gonna finish with 3 pearls. Let's bring this, 3 pearls, 1, 2, and 3. Good. Row number 11 is done. I am advancing to row number 12. I'm going to turn my work. I'm going to do my border and garter stitch. And that starts with 2 darks. 1, 2 darks, light, dark, light. Now it's 2 darks, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1. That's how I memorize. 2 darks, 1 light, 2 darks, 1, 1, 1. 2 darks, 1 light. That's the end of row 12. Now I'm gonna work row 13, which is actually just dark color, but row 14 will be a light color. So I have to carry both colors all the way to here in order to start row 14 with the light color. Let's do this together. Okay, take this away for now. Do the 3 garter stitch, 1, 2, 3. And now I am going to do all dark, but I want to start trapping the light. So what I'm going to do is just do a couple darks, 1 and 2. And let's see, I'm going to bring this needle into the next stitch. I'm going to bring the yarn clockwise around the needle. I'm going to knit with the color I want and take the color I don't want away. And I trap the gray in the back. I'll do this again. 3 blues. Let's trap every 4. I'm going to do 1 more blue. Trapping the gray color behind the blue. I insert the right hand needle into the stitch. I bring the color I don't want to show, is the color I want to trap, clockwise around the needle. I knit the stitch with the color I want, but before I finish I take the color I don't want away. And now I can keep going. And you're going to see right now that I'm trapping the gray as I go, so you don't get very long floats. Otherwise, if I didn't trap, my entire row would be navy blue and the gray would be carried from here to here. I don't want to do that. So again, clockwise, knit with the color I want, take the color I don't want away, and you finish the trap on the next one. Okay, one more time, a little quicker. You finish actually the trap on the next stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4. Last time. I insert my right hand needle into the stitch. I bring the color I don't want to show clockwise. I knit with the color I want to show and take the color I don't want away. And by that I trap this color behind. Let's strap on the last one. So I bring my gray all the way to the end. Bring both colors down. And now I have the garter stitch. Okay. There you see my design forming. But you see the traps on the back. It looks stranded. You can see it looks actually a little looser than my regular strand, but the looser the better, because once you're going to block this to make this design show, you want the strands to not pucker the fabric. Okay? Last thing I'm going to show you is the other way around. When I want to trap the blue and do the entire row with the gray or the light color. 3 stitches on garter border. My yarn end up on the other side. I'm going to bring that to this side. Okay, so now this entire row is gray. I'm going to bring this yarn underneath here so it holds to the blue. 1, 2, 3. On the 4th gray, I'm going to trap the blue. And this one is easier because you're going to purl with both colors and take the color you don't want away. And you finish trapping in the next stitch. The entire row is gray or light color. Let's do that again. Insert your right hand needle into the stitch as if to purl. Put both colors on the right hand needle. Take the color you don't want away and finish the trap on the next stitch. Once again. We're almost done. And in this way I'm carrying both colors from the beginning of the row to the end. And we're finishing row number 14. Let's do this strap once more in the last stitch and purl the last 3 garter stitches. And I'm going to take my yarn away from my pins. We're going to take a look together. Let's give this a stretch. There we go. I actually finish my chart. See, the design is forming on the right side. The back side, you can see all the stranded, and these are my traps. Every time you see on the back side a little yarn going slanting this way, those are where you trap your either main color or background color. Alright, so I hope this helps. One instance that came to my mind when I was working on this are the Norwegian sweaters. You know, the Norwegians are known to knit sweaters in the round, so if you're going to do the body of the sweater, they work in color work, stranded knitting, all the way around the body. But when it comes to the armhole, they'll divide front and back of the sweater and work flat. I had never done that on a sweater myself, but I've heard that the gauge could be different. I think it's a matter of doing a swatch, both in the round and flat, and compare. So you would make sure that your gauge is very similar, and in order to do that sweater that way, or whatever is the project that you have in mind. So anyway, leave your comments for me, ask questions, make suggestions. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you can get other videos, and I'll see you next time.